Well, good morning. It is Thursday, October 17th, and y'all missed a crazy night. After I finally climbed to the top of the mountain, well, I had to walk on top of the mountain for 3 miles, exposed to the wind, snow, sleet, hail. I mean, that wind was whipping sometimes 50 miles an hour. It actually knocked me down once. If there wasn't a big rock next to me, I'd have gone down. So I got to the campsite I originally wanted to get to, and the wind, there was no wind whatsoever. Man, I pitched my tent real quick and didn't get too wet. Got a little wet inside. It was raining, but not too bad. Got in there, wasn't too cold because the wind wasn't blowing. And I ate, started to go to sleep, or tried to go to sleep, and windstorm started up, and oh my Lord, I thought my tent was gonna break. The pole was bent completely to the ground. I had to get out and restake it. It was raining, snowing, sleeting. So, it wasn't too bad in the tent this morning, but now I got out, of course, put my wet socks and shoes on. My hands are freezing because I had to put my wet tent up. My tent was right there. And so I don't know. I don't know if I can. It's cold, it's windy. I got 22 miles to get to the road to Etna, excuse me. And I'm going to try to do that. I'm not sure. After hiking all day and then it's starting to get colder. It's going to be cold all day. It's snowing right now. I don't think I'll be able to set my tent up and everything wet and stay dry tonight or warm. I mean, the main thing is getting the tent up. So anyway, we're just going to play it by ear. It's 11 o'clock now. Anyway, I got to get going. I'm freezing. And I'll talk with you later. So as I was trying to tell you this morning, I was cold and I don't know. So when I finally got to the top of the mountain, it had been raining for a couple hours. And man, I had to walk 3 miles on open, like it was open on each side. And that wind was whipping so hard. Yeah, I have no idea. Like I said, it almost knocked me over twice. It would have once if it wasn't for a big rock that I landed on. But I get to my camp and it wasn't, I found the trail finally crossed on the other side of the mountain behind where the wind was coming from. There wasn't a drop of wind. So I got my tent set up and all that, and actually cooked dinner last night. And I don't know, around 10 o'clock, a windstorm hit. And it was coming from every direction. And I swear to you, I don't know how my tent pole didn't break. That thing was blowing from the side, and it was bent all the way over to the other side. And then it started pulling stakes out. So when I go out to check my tent, it had snowed 2 inches or a good inch, whatever, but I didn't even know it. I thought it was raining. And this morning I could have sworn I heard footprints go by, or somebody's, what the hell's the word? So I could hear their feet walking as they walked by in the snow. Then I tried to listen real careful, and I said, nah, and it's no way. Sure enough, I get on trail and there's prints going the other way. I can't tell if it's a hiker though. It almost looks like a boot print, which could be a hunter. But he walked right by where I was tented, and I see his tracks. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna try to get to Etna. I don't know if I can. That's a long way, and it's long, 2 giant mountain climbs. But it all depends on my feet. Actually, right now, everything, I'm fine. I'm not cold anywhere except for my feet. Of course, my shoes are soaked and socks are soaked. But I hadn't been going that long. I was hoping it'd warm up. I'm going up a mountain. Imagine that, it's all I've done. Whew. So pretty much, this when you leave Sayad Valley, after 20 miles and you get on top of the mountain, you really never come down. I looked last night, when I get to the highway that takes you to Etna, hell, it's still at 5,000 feet. It's pretty much the lowest I can camp up here, 6,000 feet where I did last night. I was warm, I never was cold. When you wake up in the morning, which usually for the sun comes up, it's the coldest time. You know, I felt a little chilly, but I was trying to decide what to do because it was snowing, the wind was whipping, and I was thinking about just staying there all day. But then I remembered that Etna was only 22 miles. Problem is, that would put me there probably 10 o'clock at night at the trailhead. Etna's a very small town, and this little 2-lane leading into it does not have a lot of traffic. And people say you may have to wait hours for you to catch a hitch. Of course, getting there at 10 at night, may not be able to get a hitch, and then Etna's 10 miles down the road, which I sure as hell don't want to walk. Well, I'm still hiking away in the snow and sleet. And I've been crossing footprints with whoever that was that passed by me this morning. Boy, he must have got up super early. I figured out it is a through hiker. It's got all, I can see the shoe now. It's an Ultra. Oh, Lord. And yesterday when I got to the top of the mountain, it was, the wilderness was Marble Mountain Wilderness. And I'm assuming that big old rock I just took a picture of is Marble Mountain. And man, it's a shame. Can't say anything because there have been some great open views on this trail. I mean, like I said yesterday, I was walking the top and it was open on both sides. And I could see some giant mountains out there, but just couldn't get enough detail. And today I've been in this canyon and it's just beautiful, what little I can see. Of course, it's up and down. Actually climbing right now. See there, those Ultra footprints. Whew. All right, I guess I'm on top of Marble Mountain. So, nasty day. Well, it is 2 o'clock. It has warmed up a little bit, plus I've gone down about 2,000 feet. Done 5 miles, and I just looked on gut hooks. I don't know what's going on with that gut hooks. Here lately, my mileage keeps changing. I checked it last night. It said 22 miles to the trailhead for Etna. I just checked it just now, and I've gone 5 miles today. It says it's 24.7 from right here. So there's no way I can do that. Right now it's clearing up a little bit. That don't mean crap. I mean, the problem, it's not the temps, even the rain and snow in the mountains. It's the wind. I mean, Lord, when you get up about 6,000, that wind is whipping, and I mean, it's 20, 30 mile an hour gusts. And then at night you have windstorms, and what I've got to do, even if I'm going to camp out, it's going to be the same situation as last night. I've got a big mountain to climb after I get done going downhill, and then it kind of levels out and I'm right on top of the mountain. Then I got to climb another one, a big one, but not probably from 68 to 72. And then I got to walk across the top of it a while, and if it's like last night, Lord, I was freezing. You're all exposed and the wind's whipping, coming right up the mountain. So I'll have to come down the other side, which, hell, that's going to still be a 20-mile day or 18-mile day to be able to get down. Problem is, too, that by the time you do, like last night, you're so damn cold, you can't function. Putting up your tent is a hassle, and of course mine is soaking wet. I mean, inside, outside, everything's wet. And I have wet clothes from yesterday, so those are making my backpack a lot heavier. Those pants I had on, man, I wish I didn't have them on because they got wet. And they weigh a ton with all that spandex in it. So it hasn't been a lot to show for the last 2 days, unfortunately, because I have a feeling, especially that Marble Mountain area, that just what I could see was gorgeous. Wish I could have seen the mountains around it. But yeah, I finally lost Nobo's tracks. There was a turn up back, I don't know, a couple miles, and he must have camped in that area because when I made the turn, start going down, there was just snow only, no tracks. I don't know why, but thought I'd see some wildlife today. But nope. Well, it's 3:30. Walked about 7 miles. Again, I didn't start till 11. Got to the top of the second mountain. So I'm at about 6,800 feet. And man, it dropped 15 degrees. It's snowing, sleeting, hailing, windy. Right now the wind died for a minute. But man, that's what makes it so cold. Whew. It was whipping. My nose and face are freezing. So I'm just kind of playing everything by ear. I know I got to walk on top for a little bit like yesterday, and then I do go down some. Problem is I just won't do many miles today if I camp there. Hell, I'm gonna have 16 miles to get to the Etna Road tomorrow, which I don't want. But then if I continue, I got a monster mountain to climb, and that's gonna put me up there around 5:30 like yesterday. And that was hell. That was actually scary. I was starting to get a little panicky, but I did know it was gonna drop, and there was a campsite 1,000 feet below it, so just had to hurry up and get there. But I don't know as much about this side. When I do drop from this mountain, I'm only going to drop about 400 feet. It's not a whole lot. Now on the other mountain, you're going to drop a bunch, but hell, I mean, I might be having to hike at 7, 8 o'clock at night, and my feet and hands will be freezing by then. So I don't know. So sure as hell that other mountain goes up to 7,200 feet. I sure as hell don't want to camp up there. There are campsites. And there were some right on the other side of it. Maybe you did change mountains to get out of the wind, I don't know. Said I can handle the temps. It's that wind. Okay, so it's about 5:30. I just climbed up to the top of this mountain I've been climbing for the last hour. I'm at 6,800 feet. It flattens out for a few minutes, then it goes down, and then I gotta climb up to 7,200. Then that'll be the last climb of the day, and it starts going down. So once I start going down, I'm gonna go to that campsite. It's probably 4 miles away. I still, wow, have 500 feet to climb. Man, it's just so disappointing. It's a whiteout because up on the top here, I mean, I've got views on my left, right. I can't see a thing. Thank God the wind is not blowing like yesterday. I mean, I'm starting to get a little chilly just because my feet have been soaked all day, but if that wind was blowing, it'd be almost unbearable. So I doubt the time I get to camp, it's going to be dark. I've already figured it's going to be about 7:30. And that's going to put me at 15 miles for the day. And I'm going to set my alarm and get up early and get the blank out of here. I got like 14, 15 tomorrow. I got to look tonight to get to the highway. And yeah, I mean, one more night out here is about all I could handle because everything's so wet. Should be okay tonight. As long as I'm not in any wind, I should be all right. Lord, I'm tired. Plus, I haven't eaten enough today. I'm really haven't even eaten lunch, but I'm just too cold and tired to stop to cook. I have to cook. I didn't have enough snacks. Well, I made it to the 7,200 foot peak. Lord, it is cold and windy. Now it's going to take me down just a little bit, and I have another 7,200 foot peak. So after I walk this ridge a little bit, which is would be beautiful if it was sunny, but oh, now the wind's blowing right in my face. I'll be so glad to get in my tent and get out of these wet socks, wet gloves, and get my feet in my sleeping bag and my whole body. I'm gonna have to warm up a while before I even cook. Hell, it's gonna be 10 o'clock before I even eat dinner. Whew. All right, I gotta put this phone up. This is rocky as hell and going downhill. Well, this is what you call night hiking. Actually, it's probably the first time I've had to do it. Use enough light I can get to camp. Last night I had enough light to get there, but I had to put my headlamp on and start put my tent up. So I got about 1.5 miles. Oh, it feels much better down here already. No wind, probably a couple degrees warmer. I can see my breath, but yeah, I'll be glad to get in my tent tonight. Wasn't planning on doing 15 once I found out I couldn't make it to Etna, but hell, I had to do it to get down off the mountain, out of that wind and cold. I don't know if you can tell it, but it's not gonna pick up. I am going downhill. Oh, it feels so much better getting out of that wind. Whew. So I got a bunch of choices. There's one coming up pretty quick, but I don't have enough water. Then it says there's supposed to be a reliable stream. And if I can fill up there, I think there's another campsite right past that. And if it's sheltered from the wind, I'm taking it. I mean, the other one's only half a mile farther. And I don't really want to camp by a lake. There's enough damn moisture in there. So anyway, let me keep my eye on the trail.